because we had challenges around the issues that other speakers have spoken to or alluded to. The issues of gangs, goons that were mobilized around the political contestants that time. And I remember we forestalled violence in most places, and we dealt with the challenges in constituencies such as Kasipul. So allow me, Waziri, therefore, to thank the ministry and also to thank the National Police Service for the support they have provided to IEBC in the discharge of its mandate. As we move closer to the next general election, this meeting, therefore, is very, very important, so that then we can come together and share information and think together about the various challenges that we see, and think together about how we can take advantage of the opportunities that we see, including opportunities in our collaboration, in our coordination, and in our putting together our teams to handle some of the critical things that must be done in order to make the next election successful. One of the areas that we are concerned about in terms of the next elections is voter registration. We've just concluded the enhanced voter registration exercise last month, where we registered 2.3 million Kenyans, eligible Kenyans, within a time span of 30 days, 4 weeks. That is commendable, and I must thank my staff of IEBC and also the stakeholders who supported us. Overall, now we have a additional 2.6 million Kenyans who have joined our register. We congratulate them and we thank them for coming out to perform their national patriotic duty as responsible citizens who are required to come forward and register and participate in making our democracy work. Our registration will also face challenges in terms of the issuance of national identity documents. And this is a matter that most of the citizens where we visited, where our teams were, those who did not, who are not able to come to register because of lack of IDs, they requested that we pass this message to the ministry, and particularly to the department responsible for national registration. And I'm glad the PS present here today has assured us that they are working day and night tirelessly to improve on the issuance of the national identity cards. And this problem of lack of ID cards is across the country. Most places, right from Nairobi here, Central, Lower Eastern, Upper Eastern, Northern Kenya, the southern part of the country, the borderland communities, those communities that live along our international borders, have also asked us to tell you, Waziri, and your PSS, to avail to them these documents. And therefore, that challenge of undocumented Kenyans need to be addressed so that those who reach the age of 18, the voting age, 18 and above, we are able to register them, because our strategy and our policy is that of inclusivity and participation in making our democracy work, in deepening our democracy. So I'm glad that today's consultations have yielded fruit, and they promise that the ministry will fast-track the issuance of these national identity documents to deserving Kenyans across all corners of this country. Honorable Minister, and the PSS present here, our IG, one of the other critical areas of concern to us as IEBC is in relation to election security preparedness. And I think you have seen our presentation, our requests, our requirements which have been presented already by Commissioner Hassan Nur Hassan, who is leading our election security preparedness efforts. We know as a country we are faced with challenges, emerging challenges, of course the issues of our young people sometimes participating in this phenomenon called goonism, and of course joining these criminal gangs and being mobilized by political actors. We as IEBC are very clear on this issue, particularly our Inspector General. We need to deal decisively with this issue, both from the demand side and the supply side. Because these young people on their own do not engage in political violence. They are people who have the demand for their services. And of course, being unemployed and facing some of the challenges, then they are likely to engage in these activities for survival. So we need to find out who are these people who demand these services. Who are these people who are mobilizing violence against other Kenyans in the name of contesting? Because my position is, if you are looking for a job, to be a member of county assembly or to be a member of parliament or to be a women representative or a senator or a governor, why would you cause other Kenyans pain? Why don't you talk to them, convince them, tell them your policies, your agenda for them, instead of you mobilizing them to disrupt other people's lives and of course property and businesses. So we are very clear on this. We need the security agencies to investigate. DCI is present here. We need them to be arrested and to be held accountable. And as we move, when we declare the election period, the campaign period, when the Electoral Code of Conduct checks in, we as IEBC will also take decisive action, including disqualifying some of those people whom we will have information about their activities in perpetrating violence in this country. So we are very clear on that. We have agreed with the entire commission that we will strictly enforce the code of conduct as against those politicians, whether sitting or aspiring to unseat those who are sitting. What I'm told in the field, the standing politicians. Na wenye wameketi kwa kiti wamekalia kiti, na kuna wenye wamesimama wanangoja kuang'oa. So let us work on this security arrangement as has been presented here. We must have a robust election security arrangement program with all those coordinating mechanisms and structures, of course led by myself, the IG, all the services that are involved, the intelligence, the investigation, and all of us. And of course the civil society is also part and parcel of that election security arrangement program. Third, which is I think my last point, is on our, again, partnership and collaboration in the area of conflict management and peace building. Of course, we know that prevention is better than cure. We have already been told by the analysts, the IG has presented a comprehensive report here about the various threats, the way they see it. IEBC has also presented our threat analysis. We've also mapped the hotspots, just like the security. So we need to harmonize all this so that then we design strategies and approaches to deal with those issues. And for me, I will emphasize prevention better than as a better approach than waiting to deal with the aftermath. So peace building and conflict management should be central to our efforts. We need to activate the systems to coordinate peace building and conflict management efforts. We need to activate mediation committees. We need to up our game in peace messaging, calling upon Kenyans to maintain peace and patriotism. And therefore, all that infrastructure, what we're calling the national infrastructure for peace, which starts at the national level all the way to the grassroots. And I think at some point, 2013, that infrastructure was housed under the Ministry of Interior and National Administration. So we need to look at that, the National Steering Committee on Peace Building and Conflict Management. I believe the policy for conflict management and peace building was passed. If not, we need to fast track it, because it's very important for us to use soft power to engage, to mediate, to use other alternative means, because using hard security alone might be sometimes problematic. We need to complement their efforts so that where it's necessary, we prevent incidences of political violence, political mobilization, ethnic profiling, and all those negative things that are likely to affect our environment for conducting a peaceful, credible, and election that Kenyans will accept and believe in. So as I conclude, allow me to emphasize that the success of the 2027 general election will largely depend on how effective our institutions coordinate and collaborate, and that journey begins today. And Waziri, allow me to inform the nation that today IEBC is having this joint consultative forum with the Ministry of Interior and National Administration. We will also engage with other ministries and other departments of government that have a mandate that has a bearing on these national elections. Because it's a national exercise, it's a national duty. So we'll be talking to other agencies, for example, the Communications Authority on matters of network and the digital space. We will be talking with the National Cohesion and Integration Commission on, of course, how they can effectively